Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Diana and Happy New Year. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. We've made it. We have made it to 2021 and we just want to thank God for his goodness. And as you're going throughout the year, you will face trials, difficulty, etc. But just know that God is still with you. He is still able and there's nothing too hard for him to do. But let's get into this story time. Now this story time takes place last year at the beginning and the end of 2019. And the way I came into 2020, I should have known 2020 was gonna be a whole trip. A whole trip. And I'm gonna share this experience with you. On the 26th of December, I got the opportunity to go to the Follow Conference, which is Follow 2019 in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I was ecstatic. I really was. I love traveling, though I haven't gone many places, so an opportunity to leave, that was my thing. That was my thing. I was so ready for it. So I did all the necessary arrangements, with work and whatnot, and I was ready to leave Antigua. So my best friend came and she picked me up from home and she's supposed to take me to the airport. There weren't any long lines or queues. I simply went up, got what I was getting, spent a little time with her, and then I went upstairs. Got to Miami, and then I was staying with one of my friends who I arranged to stay with his aunt and uncle because he was traveling down to the Caribbean. Everything was set. And so I get to Miami. This is my second time in the States. I get there and I'm like, okay, Dinah, let's try to remember the route we took. You have to go to the kiosk, do this, do that. That was perfectly fine. I went outside to where all the arrivals came. And then I stood up and I looked around like, okay, where's this gentleman supposed to pick me up? Like, where's uncle? There was no uncle, okay? There was no uncle to pick me up. So I'm outside and I'm like, try not to look like a foreigner. Try not to look lost. Remember you're black, but be calm. So I was just there. I had a backpack. We'll get to that. I had my backpack and I had on my long sleeve, whatnot. And I'm just there, like looking left, looking right, like, okay, where are you? Can't find him. And now my legs are getting tired. Yes, I crossed over to the curb and I said, let me sit down and wait. I pull out my phone thinking, this is the United States of the A. Wi-Fi is what they're all about, like lightning speed. So I'm like, I'm just gonna connect to the Wi-Fi, pull out my phone, no Wi-Fi. If you're ever watching this, Miami International Airport, work on your Wi-Fi that's outside. It sucks. Absolutely sucks. So there's no Wi-Fi, so I can't WhatsApp him. I can't WhatsApp call him because I don't have a SIM for the US. So I can't just call him, so I need WhatsApp and I can't use it. So I'm there sitting down like, Lord, what is this I've got myself into? I'm outside in this big country, don't know nobody, and like, I was like, what's happening? Nevertheless, God is always with me. And as I'm sitting outside, this security guy pulls up and he says, Miss, is everything okay? So I look up at him and I was like, what do I do? So I was like, yes, I'm fine. I'm just waiting to be picked up. He was like, okay, that's fine. I said, yes, yes. And then somehow we got to talking. Like I knew about his grandbabies, his church, his wife, when he's gonna retire. Like, we got to talking, and eventually, I was telling him I tried to call uncle to come and just see where he was, but the Wi-Fi sucks. It's outside. And he was like, yeah, Wi-Fi is rough. He was like, you want me to spot you? Like, yes, I do. I was not gonna deny that. So he turned on his data and he did a hotspot, and I was able to connect just to see uncle message me to say that there was an emergency at work just as he was about to leave. So he turned back to deal with it, but he's on his way. And that was such a relief for me just to know that he was coming to pick me up. So we continued to talk a bit, and then he had to go away because again, he was the security for the area, and then he'd come back in his little segue, and then he went off. Anyways, that's fine. That was Boxing Day. We get to the house, I go and I get Wendy's because I love Wendy's. I don't care what nobody says. The French fries is golden. And slept. The next day we went out shopping, which is really nice. And then I came back in, I relaxed because I booked my flights. you know, I was like, I'm gonna reach in on the 26th, I have the 27th to go and do a little shopping. The 28th, I was gonna leave early to go to Ohio. 29th, 30th, you know, fly back in the app. Okay, so 28th came, right? My flight is supposed to leave Miami at 7. I want to say about 7:15, 7:30, somewhere between there. So I'm like, okay, no problem, you know, 3.5 hours they say, that's fine. We live like 15 minutes away, Uncle lived. So I got up like 4, maybe 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I started to get ready. And my friend who I was staying with, his uncle and aunt, he had already arranged for a Lyft, which is just like an Uber, to pick me up to take me to the airport. And they were supposed to come for 5 o'clock. So hence I was up so early. So now I was getting ready, getting my things together, you know, what I'm gonna walk with to Ohio, what I'm gonna leave, everything. I get ready, everybody's asleep, the place is dark, I go outside is cold, it's drizzling, but that's fine. This is a part of the American winter experience. My first time, okay? I was a newbie. So I was like, this is good, that's fine. I am outside, 5 o'clock.
5:15, 5:20, 5:25, 5:30, 5:35, 5:40, 5:45.
And now I'm like, should I be, but I didn't know if I should panic or not. So I'm calling my friend on WhatsApp. Now he's in the Caribbean, okay? To tell him, you know, like, did the Lyft forget me? You know, did they go to the wrong address? You know, like, you know, to just find out what's happening. Can't get him. Sure, he's sound asleep. His Wi-Fi is probably shut off. And I'm there now, and I'm like, Lord, you know, you know, I can't be late. I can't miss this flight, you know. Jesus, what do I do? And it's like 5:50. I was like, nah. I go back to the house and I rap on the door. And you know, no one was answering, so I rapped with a bit more enthusiasm. Like, somebody needs to get up. They finally get up, and Uncle was like, what time is it? I said, it's 6 o'clock, sir. You know, and the flight is like in an hour and change. He was like, what? I was like, yes. He was like, why didn't you wake me earlier? I was like, because I was stupid. In my mind, not out loud. And so he got dressed and he took me to the airport. Now, the ride again was about 15 minutes, so I got there about 6:50. I tell you, I got there in the nick of time because the close-off time for the kiosk was 6:20. Now, when we pulled up to the airport, there was just this long line. So when I'm looking at my watch and I'm like, I need to go. I was like, I can't wait. So I was like, Uncle, thank you so much. I'm opening the door, grabbing my backpack, jumping out, and I'm digging it, okay? Digging it to get in, go to the kiosk, you know, go through the check-in process within like the nick of time because I had like, what, 1 minute to spare before it closed off. And I'm like, phew, the worst is over. The worst is over. Oh, it is done. No, okay? Because again, I'm from the Caribbean. We are small islands, you know? So they say check in 3.5 hours, but we like roll up there an hour before. There ain't no line, there ain't nobody. Not in Miami. So like Miami is crazy. And like I heard, Dallas is worse, but let's just stay on point. Miami is crazy. So I get my boarding pass, and I'm like, okay, so where's the security check line, you know? Let me just go on through. I pull up, and I was like, oh, why are these people out here, you know? Are they just talking, conversing, you know? I have to speak proper now. And I was like, wait, let me look again. So the security line, it was so long. And I'm like, this can't be the line. So I go, excuse me, miss, where's the line for the, you know, the check-in? She's like, oh, it's there. I was like, oh, it's there. I know a bun me. Because I had to stop and ask a woman, somebody beats me to the end. So now I'm even further back. And I'm like, Lord, this can't be it. And I'm literally standing up there outside. I hope I look calm. Inside, I'm freaking out. I'm like, I'm going to miss my flight. There is no questions about it. It is now 6:35. The flight literally leaves in about half an hour. I'm going to miss my flight. And I'm standing up there, and I mean, can't have a relationship with Jesus, so you can't call on him. So I'm like, this is the time to pray. I'm like, Father God, from way up high. You know, I was being a little extra, but I was really like, I'm gonna miss my flight. And I'm telling you, y'all know that song with Lecrae Mali, and it says, like a hero in a dream, Christ came and he rescued me. Look, Jesus swooped in, because out of nowhere, this security woman comes and she was like, we're changing. Some of you come follow us. We're going to gate E. She didn't have to tell me twice. Like I'm not even sure I heard what she said properly. All I heard was follow me. We're going to a different gate. I was behind her like butter on toast. That's a really weird example, but it's the only one that came to me. I was behind her, okay? If she was skipping, I was skipping. We were jumping. There's this old man trying to give me competition, and that just really wasn't the day. Like, sir, this was not the Saturday to be trying to get in front of me. I didn't do anything to him. I'm just saying, you know, like, he was a little fast for someone so mature. You know, I had to like put an extra pep in my step. Anyways, we get to gate E and we go through security. It was really fast because, you know, I was up front. And I'm like, Lord, because y'all don't understand, check-in was at gate D and the plane was at D40, which means I was all the way so and the gate was all the way so for the plane. So where I would have checked in with security, I had to walk back, but E is a little closer because it would have been E1 and 40 is the last of D. So it was really close for me to get. So go through security and, you know, get on the train, the tram, whatever it is. Go on that, you know, I'm still walking brisk because I'm like, it's almost 7 o'clock, you know, brisk walking through the airport with my backpack. And I'm like, wait, nobody see me? They don't give rights in this place? Because, you know, that little buggy thing passed. It's like, you know, do I hail? No? Okay, sir, all right. No problem, you know, just keep walking brisk. So I get to the part that says D40 and I'm like, yes, I've arrived. And I see people like sitting and lounging and I'm like, okay, you know, maybe I'm not too late. But I look at the time, it's like 7:10. I was like, but the flight should be leaving in like 10 minutes. So maybe I should ask somebody. So I go up to the counter and I ask the woman and she says, yes, miss, come. We're boarding already. I was like, okay, I'm here. So she ushers me through, take my boarding pass. I get assigned a seat. You know, I go out, you know, walk the little part, go up to the plane. There's this nice lady like, hi, welcome. Are you flying with us today? And I'm like, yes, I am. Thank you so much. She's like this. So I was like, oh, guys. The plane was small. Like, the plane was very small. And so she said, you can sit anywhere. I sat right in front. Why, what is it behind? So I just kindly sat, and how I sat, this is how small the plane is. The roof came like this. So if I wanted to go in, I kind of had to like slat it was a trip of that plane. So anyways, I sat down, got comfortable because by the goodness of God, I didn't miss my flight, right? So I would get to Ohio in time for this conference and meet up with my people. That's all that mattered. And you know, I sat down, and as I finally sat down and the hustle and the bustle of the morning eased, I realized I hadn't eaten anything. I literally did not eat anything since maybe the afternoon before, in all the excitement and the rushing. And I'm like, Lord, I'm hungry now. I'm real hungry now. Like the worms are starting to move around like, feed us, feed. I'm like, is this one of those planes that give you food? Because I'm hungry. Like, are we gonna get biscuits, snacks? Like, I didn't know. And then I remember that Janisha, come through sis, come through. She made sugar cookies and she gave them to me. And I didn't eat them right away, so they were in my bag. I think I had like 4 sugar cookies, and I'm just going to insert that clip. These sugar cookies saved my life, okay? They got my blood sugar up to where it needed to be, and it held me until I got to Ohio. So the plane took off, everything was really good. We're up in the air, and now we're in the Midwest. I'm telling you, I'm passing over football stadium. I'm like, okay, saw you on TV, there you are, come through football stadium, you're big, you know? I've never seen it, so it was big. And then we went over Kentucky. I was like, that must be the Derby. Get it? Kentucky Derby. Okay, I'm gonna stop. So we went over Kentucky, and that was really nice. And then, you know, the plane started to do this little descent. So it's like, okay, you know, brace yourself, buckle back up, you know. and it dipped, and then it came back up, and it shake. I was like, okay, you know, that's a little unusual. But, you know, maybe it's trying to avoid some clouds. The turbulence is normal, you know, I'm a frequent flyer enough. I know turbulence. And then we dipped, and then we shake, and then we came back up. I was like, okay, you know, one for the money, two for the something. And then we dipped, and then we shake. I was like, okay, hold up, wait a minute, wait a minute. Pull out my earphones, like, you know, did I miss the announcement? Is everything okay? And then you hear, dear flyers, this is your pilot speaking. We attempted to land, but we could not because the sky wasn't very clear. It's quite foggy over the Ohio airport. So we'll be landing in the neighboring airport. So I'm like, okay, all right, that makes sense. It's understandable. Nothing I can do about it. Nothing anybody can do. It's just what it is. So he was like, we're just gonna land there. We're gonna refuel. It's gonna be maybe 20 minutes or so. That makes sense. Like, no sense we keep trying, run out of gas, fall out of the sky. You know, no need for doom. Let's just go and land. I think it was Lexington Airport in Kentucky, but we landed at that airport, and I even have photos. Like, I documented everything. So I have a photo of us being there, and while we're there, we're refueling and whatnot. I'm comfortable, everything is okay. We're within that 20-minute period. I have up my phone's literally by the glass, like, Wi-Fi, any Wi-Fi, because I'm traveling with other persons from different Caribbean islands. We're all supposed to meet in Ohio and then go off to the hotel before the conference starts. So, you know, it's not just me alone. So I'm there just trying to get this little Wi-Fi, and because I was at the front of the plane, I was the closest to the building, so I caught a little signal, and that was it. Y'all don't even know I'm strategic with this Wi-Fi catching signal. Don't play games. So I caught a little signal, so I messaged them, but when I moved my phone, it would go away. So I typed the message, put it back, sent, got my message read, typed back, sent, just to let them know, you know, we had to make an impromptu stop, you know, rada, yeah. So everything is going okay. You know, I'm keeping abreast with my time. Where my little trusty watch come through, citizen, sponsorship, no, okay. So I'm watching my time. It's now 20 minutes has passed, 25 minutes has passed. And you know, it's, you know, you're a little antsy because you want to get going. I hear, get me off of this plane. So I'm like, get me off of this plane. Now I'm in my phone because I got the little Wi-Fi. I'm also messaging one of my friends, Anissa. And I'm here, get me off of this plane. So I stop. Like, what's happening? So, you know, I kind of easy, you know, be discreet. You know, like, what's happening behind there? And there's this dude, really tall, slim. He's black, a little mix, but he's black. And he's like, get me off of this plane. I need to get off of this plane. I don't want to be on this plane. Get me off of this plane. And I'm just like, oh, okay, like, you know, like, what's happening? So then the air hostess, flight attendant comes and, sir, please calm down. You need to sit down. You know, you can't, you can't get you off the plane, can't disembark, rada. And he was like, get me off of this plane. I am claustrophobic. I have issues with asthma and being here and all the dipping. And, you know, he just started to say basically kind of what was wrong with him. And he needs to get off the plane. And she was adamant that he was not getting off of this plane. And he was adamant that he was getting off. So she was standing in front where I was, and he was probably middle back, and he started to move up to the front. He was like, I need to get off this plane, get me off. And she is now getting annoyed. And I don't know, like, in my mind, like, flight attendants are like guest services people, where you're upset on the inside, but on the outside you're still, you know, poised. No, she was getting annoyed, and it's like her face was starting to screw. And so I'm watching her and I'm watching him. And then occasionally I crank my neck back, and there's this man behind of me. Now he's white, well built, mature, but well built. I was like, I wonder if he's like a US Marshal or something. Like, yeah, I guess, like, I can't do a drama. Like my life can't be filled with all this drama. So I'm like, you know, I looked down at his boots. His boots looked like the ones US Marshal. He had on like the navy vest jacket thingy. I was like, Lord, it's too early for this drama in the morning now. I ain't even eat properly. Like, I didn't even get to where I'm going. Like, this just can't be drama. And this man is still going, get me off of this plane. Anyways, the air hostess, flight attendant, I guess she had enough. She goes and I guess she alerts the pilot. Now he's still standing up in the aisle. His woman is right next to him with her bag and, you know, her crook of her arm. She's just standing up. It's like, sis, that's all you're going to do? Like, you gotta go try to calm him down. He wasn't aggressive, but, you know, he was very adamant that he needed to get off the plane. He didn't use any foul language or anything. So the pilot now comes out and he was like, hi, I'm your captain, such and such. What seems to be the issue? Like he hadn't been debriefed. So the gentleman says, I need to get off of this plane. I'm claustrophobic, you know, I have asthma and all this dipping and us being in this compressed air for so long. It's affecting me. I don't want to be here. Get me off this plane. So the pilot explains to him basically, well, we'll be taking off shortly. We've already refueled. We've already spoken to Ohio Airport, whatever it's called, and they have verified that the air isn't as dense anymore in terms of the clouds, so it's clearing up and we'll be leaving shortly. See if you can just hold on and bear with us. I understand, you know. He was very polite and, you know, he definitely was empathetic. And that calmed the gentleman down. He was like, okay, that's fine. He went back to sit. Now, between the time the pilot did that and the gentleman sitting, another 15 minutes passed. And he was not having it. So he was back up again. Get me off of this plane. I was like, Lord. Just when you calm him down, the drama is back again. I'm like, Lord. And I'm messaging my friend in all of this. I'm like, girl, drama is on this plane. These things is only happened to me. She's like, what happened? I said, girl, this man's trying to get, you know, giving her the feed. And then he is now adamant, get him off this plane. He don't care. He don't want to go to Ohio. He said, leave him right here in Lexington. He will drive back. And they started to use, you know, reasoning. They're saying, oh, we can't take off your baggage because that'll just be too much. And I get that. That makes sense. To which he replied, it's fine. You can send my bag to that airport in Ohio. I will drive and pick up my bag. Just get me off of the plane. I don't want to be here. And they're like, sir, we can't get you off the plane. He was like, why can't you get me off the plane? We've already been here for about 40 minutes, almost 50 minutes now. Just get me off the plane. And they're like, oh, but your bags. He's like, I don't care about my bags. That's what I'm telling you. I don't care. You can send it. I'll drive back and get it. They're not seeing his point. He's not seeing their point. Everybody's at a standstill. And I'm like, Lord, all of this is just delaying us more. This is what I'm sensing. I get his point. I hear them. But I'm still in the middle, like I'm being delayed. Eventually, they call security. And I'm there like, Lord, it can't go down. Not today. Because this security guard that comes up has his gun at his side. He's buff, no hair, like a baldy. He was a baldy. Like, you don't play with baldies. That's like, Lord, this man, remember, he black? Because I am black too. And I'm like, I just can't, man. Really? And his woman is there, and I'm like, trying to send to my sister, sis, calm him down. Calm him down. We all black. Like, please, like, she's just there quiet on her phone, you know, because she's ready to leave too. I'm like, Lord, this just can't be it. And I'm messing around with the girl, the poor boy here. She's like, what? I was like, yes, like, I'm gonna talk to you later. Because I was like, let me just get my phone just in case I have to catch something. Now, that would have been me being, I guess, a bit extra, but just in case, because black lives still matter. And mine was black. I remember I'm a foreigner. So, you know, I was just like, just in case. So I had my phone on. I stopped messaging her, disconnect Wi-Fi. I had my phone here like, I'm ready. I'm just in case. Just in case. Because things just go real different than how we see it. It's like, I have my phone and I'm ready. Because at the end of the day, we black together. Okay? He could sit down maybe and calm, but we black together. So it's just in case, and I'm just here. An occasional glimpse around, the man over there is watching me, has nothing to do with me. Just in case, my phone is here and it's ready. Anyways, security comes, they open the little hatch for the door, and they're there talking. Security walks up, so you know, I aim my phone. Guys, just in case. Security comes, and security is like, you know, what's going on? So the man says, I want to get off of this plane. Let's rewind. The flight attendant was like, I'm gonna call security. My boy went Medea and her.
I ain't scared no popo. Call the popo.
Call security. Call them. Call them so they can get me off of this plane. So when security came, he was like, I need to get off this plane. I'm not comfortable here. Yada, yada, yada. So eventually, they get him off the plane. Now, we would have been at this airport almost an hour. And a good 30 minutes is them going back and forth about getting this man off the plane. And wait for it. Wait for it. The same bag, the baggage that they couldn't get off, miraculously is being strolled away by one of those little thingies. I'm like, y'all can't be serious. Y'all kept me in this place for an extra 30 minutes for what? By then my sugar cookies were over, so I had nothing to do but swallow spit. I was like, let's just get a little Wi-Fi. I was like, Anissa, abort. No drama, girl. It all ceased. Anyway, yeah, so after that whole drama, eventually we got back up in the air and we made it to Ohio's airport. I got semi-lost for like a good 10 seconds and then I found my way. I met up with my group and we went outside. I was like, oh, this is cool air conditioning. And then I got cold. I was like, yeah, that's a mess. Hot gloves. We're in the vehicle and then we're on. Okay, and that was that was part 1 of the Ohio trip. Stay tuned for part 2.
So don't forget to like, drop a comment, and subscribe. I'll see you soon.